Right now, though, we're going to talk a little CIS football. See, we talked CFL, we talked NFL, and of course we're back on Tuesday night, 11 p.m. But we got to deal with what happened this weekend. Moe Khan here in studio. A voting member. You still a voting member?
I still am. We have to get our vote in tomorrow afternoon.
Yes. Can you let me finish?
Sorry.
A voting member of the CIS football rankings. What's the official title? Is it like the National CIS football rankings?
CIS Top 10.
CIS Top 10 rankings. And normally Moe Khan goes, he swims against the current, right? He's like the one guy that'll vote for like Bishops to be number 2 or something.
Well, funny story, 2-3 years ago, Laval was the unanimous number 1 ranked team one week. Following week, I had Ottawa U as my first place team. So you saw the 39 first place votes for Laval, 1 first place vote for Ottawa.
Very nice. Now, what happened yesterday, Mo?
Well, I think if you are...
No, but first you got to break it down and tell people what happened.
Obviously, home opener, first game of the year for Concordia against University of Montreal on TSN Radio 690, need I say. Not the best effort. It was a nationally televised game, so everyone across Canada got to see it some shape or form. And this, not to say this is going to be the beginning of the end, but this could signal a long year for the Stingers because on the football field, they got outclassed, manhandled by the University of Montreal Carabins in all 3 phases. The way they opened up the scoring with the punt return for a touchdown. The way that their defense, the Carabins defense, was able to sack a Reed Quest numerous times. I believe they had 8 or 9 sacks in total. And I felt for Reed Quest, the quarterback for Concordia, who stood in the pocket, took the lumps, hit after hit, and was finally taken out late in the fourth quarter because he was not going to survive if he was going to go any longer than what he did. And if that's the case to be all season long, it's going to be a long year for him. But without question, though, it's disheartening to see the Stingers be at this juncture of how they were outclassed by a very good University of Montreal football team. But no doubt, though, there's a lot of questions about this team as they prepare for McGill this Friday night on the road.
Game points here on TSN 690. So, wholesale changes need to be made, or...
I spoke to multiple media guys who cover CIS football very closely. Obviously, Concordia just announced Patrick Boivin, the son of Pierre Boivin's new head of athletic director of Concordia Sports. And he was on during the halftime show. You can see he's well-spoken. He has a vision in mind what he wants to make Concordia Sports as being the destination for all athletes to come to the school, English, French, whatever you are, to come do your studies and play sports. But you can sort of see the look of, it's kind of disappointing that we're down by this scoreline because at halftime they should have been 40-0 than what it was at halftime, which, by the way, was 25-0. And you look on the football field, they could have easily lost this game 76-3. U of M had 2 touchdowns called, one INT in the end zone, 1 touchdown that went through that was called back for a holding. Mikael Davidson for U of M dropped the easy touchdown in the end zone, and they had a fumble that was recovered by Concordia inside the 10-yard line, and they could have easily ran the score up to 70-plus points against Concordia's 3 points. And it was tough to watch. It really was.
What about, speaking of watch, what was going on in the stands?
I tweeted during the second quarter when U of M just scored. Obviously, the Concordia fans are very quiet, and U of M fans travel well. They go to all the home games, away games for the Carabins, and you heard the U of M fans in the second quarter start chanting the classic, hey, hey, goodbye to Concordia. And that kind of, summarized the day in itself, that this was going to be a long day for the Stingers. And now with Patrick Boivin as the AD, you want to know what he's going through, what he's thinking about the program and the football team as well, because that is their signature team that represents the entire athletic department as a whole. Because when you think of Concordia Sports, you think of football first, basketball a very close second. So really, this was not the best thing, especially for a nationally televised football game, to have that effort like they did on Saturday.
Are we looking at a team that's going to go winless?
No, I don't know. I don't think they go winless. But it is going to be tough to get victories this year because you're playing a McGill team that played Laval very tough last night in Laval, a night game, which is very tough to win. You look at the schedules that they have. Bishops, for the first time, an Anglophone team has defeated a Francophone team in almost 3 years. They beat Sherbrooke today in a very close contest. Bishops returns 19 starters from last year's squad. They will be a tough out. McGill will be a very good football team. They have recruited well. Concordia, on the other hand, has not done so well with the recruiting department, so they've been nailed, somewhat speaking here, with the talent level. And I think Jared Book, who used to work here, who covers CIS as well, said it perfectly. He goes, it's a talent issue now. The talent there's a huge disparity with talent compared to Concordia's, what they have, compared to the opposition, and that's going to hurt them maybe in the long run. But I don't think they go winless. They will win some games for sure. Whether they compete for a playoff spot this year, that's to be determined. But without a doubt, though, this will be a long year, and they have to get things figured out quickly because you're playing a McGill team, home opener. They're expecting a huge crowd at Molson Stadium on Friday Night Football. It is going to be a very intriguing battle between these two teams, especially with how their game last year went down to the last minute, which Concordia won by a couple of points.
All right, there you go. So going to be some challenges ahead for the Concordia Stingers football team, and certainly it doesn't get any easier from here on in. Moe Khan 19, by the way, on Twitter.com, if you want to follow him during these games, as he's always throwing out some nuggets of wisdom.
I will write you know what? I will have something lined up for Game Points Radio in the next couple of days about the Stingers' direction.
All right, GamePointsRadio.com is the website where, by the way, you can always check out audio from this program